All right, let's divide decimals, and I, this is just a warning to you. Okay, you have to be very careful when you're dividing decimal because it's not like just adding and subtracting. Okay, and one important thing is that one of the most important things is that your divisor should always be make sure that your divisor, that's the outside number, is always a whole number. Okay. If it's not a whole number, then you're gonna convert it. Example. Let's take, for example, um, let's divide 1 comma 5 divided by 5. All right. And there's another one. Let's do 1 comma 5 divided by comma 5. Okay. Uh, Let me just make this clear. All right. There you go. So 1 comma 5 divided by 5. The other one is 1 comma 5 divided by comma 5. Uh, no, it's just like, your divisor is always a whole number. It's not always. If it's not a whole number like this, you're going to convert it, okay? And that's the only thing that we have to do in dividing. This is okay, all right? 1 comma 5 divided by 5. This, we're ready to go because this is a whole number, okay? Make sure that this is always a whole number. If it's a decimal like this, you're going to first convert it into a whole number. All right, and how to convert it, it's it's gonna be later. Okay, all right. So 1 comma 5 divided by 5. First thing here is that we just copy the decimal on top. Okay, it's the same line with this. 5 goes to 1 nothing, so just put a 0 up there, and 5 goes to 15 three times. There you go. So 3 times 5 would be 15, and that's it. That's all. So 1 comma 5 divided by 5 is 0 comma 3. There's the answer. Okay, I'll put it here. Answer. Now let's try to solve the second problem, and we'll try to see the difference. Okay, I want you to listen carefully or pay attention to the problem and their final answer, because at least you're gonna get something from it. Okay. They are the same thing, except that here it's a whole number, there's a decimal, there's a comma. I'm sorry, instead of point, it should be a comma. I'm confused with that. There you go. Now, first thing, we make this as a whole number. Now, the question is, how are you going to make that as a whole number? Okay? And there's only one possibility to that. I'll put it here. So that's going to be 0 comma 5. If I multiply this by 10, it's going to be equal to 5. If I'm going to multiply this by 100, it's going to be 50. But this is a whole number, right? Okay? So multiplying comma 5 by 10 will give me a whole number. That's the same thing if you multiply it by 100. But I don't do this. This is okay. Now, aside from multiplying, instead of multiplying, then we can just say move the decimal point one step to the right. 1. There you go. So take note of the process, okay? Take note of the step. If you multiply this by 10, it's the same thing as moving this one place to the right. There's 1 0, which means you have to move one step to the right. The number of 0 will indicate how many moves you're gonna do on the decimal point or the comma. That's the relationship actually. So here, just one time. All right. So we move this one time to the right, so it becomes 5. And look, if you do something here, you also have to do that inside. Okay. It has to be done on both sides, on the dividend and also the divisor. So your 1.5, if you move the decimal point one time to the right, it becomes 15. There you go. Look at this. I love this. Look at this problem. 15 divided by 5. It's the same thing as like, how many 5 goes to 15? All right? So the answer would be equal to 3. Can you see that? All right. So this problem 1 comma 5 divided by comma 5 gives us the value 3. But look at this. We transform the problem into a whole number, and we know how to divide. It's very simple. We've done it before. And we know that 5 goes to 15 three times. That's the answer. Okay? Now, I want to give you another one. Let's make it a little bit harder. Let's say, for example, 4 comma 5 divided by 0 comma 15. There you go. First thing is the outside number. Make sure that's always a whole number, okay? And of course, we have to move, instead of multiplying, we just move the decimal point, okay? Right, so it's gonna be, look at this, 0 comma 15, it becomes 1, 2. So we move it 2 times. So the new problem becomes 15 here outside, and in a 4.5, we also have to move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So it's gonna be 1, 2. It's 450. Look at this. The original decimal problem is now converted into a new form. And we know this. We know how to use that. We know how to solve this. We've done it before, right? Okay. So 15 goes to 45. How many times? I think it's 3 times, all right? 3 times because we have 15, then 30, and finally we have 45. So 3 times 15 is 45, and then that's going to give us 0, but make sure you have to bring down the 0 also. Then 15 goes to 0, 0 times. And 0 times 15 would be equal to 0. So 450 divided by 15 is equal to 30. At the same time, 4 comma 5 divided by 0 comma 15 is equal to 30. All right? One thing, one final problem. Let's take, what do you want? Let's say 1 comma 28 divided by, let's take, zero. No, I think it's, let's take, what do you want? I think that's kind of difficult, okay? Let's take 116, hold on. Let me just take a number like 128, that's gonna be 2 times 64 and 32. Let's say 3 comma 2, okay? 3 comma 2. Let's see if that works. If it's not, then not a problem. First thing is that you move the decimal point here 1 time because 3 comma 2, if we move the decimal point or comma to the left 1 time, to the right 1 time, it becomes 32. All right? We do the same thing with 1 comma 28, only 1 time because here it's 1 time. We do the same thing here just 1 time. So it's going to be 12 comma 8. Then after that, immediately you're going to copy the comma above. All right? Now, how many 32 goes to 12? It's 0. Can you see that? So we're going to go to, instead of 12, we're going to go to 128. So how many 32 goes to 128? It's going to be, I think it's 4, okay? Because 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 times 3 would be 12. And that's it. Bingo. So 1 comma 28 divided by 3 comma 2 is the same thing as 12 comma 8 divided by 32, which gives us a 0 comma 4. Okay? So that's all for today, and I hope you learned something. Okay?